Awesome.
What's up, Robbie?
Good. How are you?
Good, man. How's life in Texas?
It's really hot right now. It's really,
Good.
really hot, but it's going well. How's how's life up in the Great White North?
Uh it's sunny outside
There you go.
and 70 degrees, I think.
Oh yeah, get
So
a little bit warmer.
a little bit warmer. So
Heck yeah.
congrats on being able to get back in the gym.
Thank you, thank you. How are you guys doing? Are you looking like you're getting in anytime soon, or what?
June 1st.
There we go. It's not too far away.
So another week and a half.
That's not too bad.
No, there's gyms up here doing like outdoor fitness classes.
Eee.
So like outside of their building, just doing fitness classes. And I was like, I mean, that works.
It kind of works. You're not in the gym, so I get it.
Not in the gym. Nobody's indoors.
Yeah. Everyone's staying 6 feet apart. It works. It works.
Yeah, it's fine. There's a stall mat for everybody. You're good.
Exactly. Heck yeah.
Oh man. So what's new other than like coaching, getting to open the gym back up, squatting a lot last week?
Trying. What's new? Not a whole lot. I mean, we moved into a new location down here in Houston. We're in the Houston Heights area. If you don't know where
Okay.
that is, it's kind of just like so Houston. It's a little bit the top of Houston. It's very just like it's a bougie neighborhood. I'll leave it at that. But it's a lot nicer. We're closer to our gym, so it's been cool for me and Miranda. We're a little bit closer and just overall in a better area than we were before because we were in about like a 500 square feet apartment.
Okay.
Super expensive, super overpriced, really good location, but now we've kind of got a bigger house, so to speak, that
Okay.
has a lot more space. Way homier, not like an apartment type feel. So it's been a lot nicer.
That's awesome, man. Congrats.
Thank you, sir. What's new with you? What's going
Uh,
on?
we got a dog.
Yes. Heck yeah.
Uh, he's 3 months old as of yesterday.
Okay.
I now look like I hurt myself on my arms.
Those
So
puppy claws, they'll get you,
so
dude.
bad. He's so mouthy.
Yeah.
Um, I no longer coach at a gym because the gym
What?
shut down permanently.
Oh, dang. I'm sorry to hear that, man. That's
No,
tough.
it's all good. It's all good. Um, I did 3 podcasts in a day last week.
That's impressive.
That was fun.
It's a
And
lot of
then
focus.
it is. I was like, wow, I'm exhausted. And
Yeah.
but that's about it. That's about it. So how'd you get started on your journey, Robbie?
Uh, when you say like journey into CrossFit and stuff like
Journey
that.
and fitness, coaching, stuff like that.
Okay, for sure. So my journey basically started when I was about 6 years old. I basically have been doing sports my entire life. It's been something that I can't even imagine going a day without doing something physically active, Like for me, it's been just there all the time. I feel like for me, getting out of my comfort zone would be like not going to the gym on a
Okay.
day. It'd be like, okay, like we're gonna do something else today. Like we're gonna study or we're gonna read or do something like that. It's not really like meshing with who I've kind of grown up to be along this
Okay.
journey. But I mean, for me, it's been a long road of just being an athlete consistently. And then once I got to college, I played football and stuff in college, got an injury, did some surgery stuff, and I kind of realized that okay, I've kind of been selfishly pursuing all of this stuff. How can you take this athletic career, so to speak, and turn it into a profession or something you enjoy doing? Because I've loved being fit, I've loved being active my entire life. So how can I help other people attain the same happiness while doing something? And obviously coaching comes along with that. So I found CrossFit through my brother. He was a regional level athlete in 2013. Shameless plug, Justin. So I was using CrossFit to kind of rehab my knee, kind of get back in the swing of things, get fit, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I loved just the community aspect and the people that were just in the gym that I had went to at the time. And it was just something I kind of just you start drinking the Kool-Aid, you don't want to put the Kool-Aid down, as you know. Like when you start CrossFit, it's like everything's exciting. I want to do Fran, Diane, Murph, all of it in one day. And so it's kind of just been progressively learning everything and then wanting to share that knowledge with everyone else that I've met.
Awesome. So where did it start? Now, I saw you used to coach in Wisconsin, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Good
Like
old Wisconsin.
Harbor Park, right?
That was
Or
actually
or
my
did you just train there?
I actually coached there. I coached at Harbor Park, but my OG gym that I originally coached at was Stormfront CrossFit.
Okay.
They actually just shut down. There was Storm Cloud, and they had a thing too in Crystal Lake, Illinois, actually, and they recently just shut down, unfortunately. But I was helping my brother with some morning classes. I did not have
Okay.
my level 1, so don't tell anyone. But I was just coaching people because I was like, oh, I've done CrossFit for like 3 months. I know what I'm doing, right? And I would love to be a fly on the wall and see how I coached people back then. I'm sure it was atrocious, but we've all had those moments, right?
Yeah.
I think for me, it started there. It started at Stormfront when I was literally just getting up, working for free, just to open the gym for my brother, 5, 6, 7 a.m. and just work with the people that I did it for free because I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed having that connection with people. I enjoyed being the first part of their day, getting them going and getting them motivated. So for me, that's kind of when it all clicked. And I started from Stormfront CrossFit. Then I moved to CrossFit Fort Atkinson, where I met Big Jeb Daddy Sexy. Yeah, good old Jeb Simmons. Technically, is a 3-time games athlete, but since they aren't having the games this year, he will not be going. But I think he placed 6 in the Open. And I coached at Northfit, doing a lot of just on-ramp stuff, personal training stuff, just like behind the scenes stuff of basically like keeping the member funnel going in. And that was a lot where I kind of fine-tuned a lot of my people skills, I guess I'd say, because I worked in a lot of one-on-one settings. So that was something that was pretty cool, because at first I was I still am sometimes, but I was very socially awkward. Like I
Okay.
didn't know how to like have the best kind of conversation with people that like I didn't really know right away. Like I can kind of get away with some small talk and kind of like BS you a little bit, but I've actually been able to hone those skills across the board as I've worked with people one-on-one individually as a coach.
Awesome. And then from there, where'd you go after that? What made you decide to go all the way down to Houston, Texas?
Well, that's a journey in itself. But so for me, what kind of brought us all to Houston, I'll kind of step back. So I was at North Fit Creamery. So CrossFit Fort Atkinson, North Fit Creamery, it's like the same place. I was there for about a year and a half, and kind of had, I won't say a falling out, but I technically worked with a ex significant other of mine, and we decided to part ways. And then we were like working together for 6 months at the time, and it just wasn't happening. It's not good working or seeing your ex every single day. So it was kind of like a family decision. And when I say family, like North Fit decision, that it was best that one of us be let go, and it was me who was let go. So I decided to then keep doing what I'm doing, because I'm like, okay, I can either get a boring 9-to-5 job, I can finish some school stuff and go do something in that realm, or I can do this thing that I'm super, super passionate about and just find a way to do it. Find a gym, coach a couple classes, like just keep trying to hone that craft. And so that's what I did. I reached out because I knew Blair and Jason Ewell from just competitions and stuff like that, Boxstar stuff. I'm sure you're familiar. But I kind of decided to go that route and check them out. And I was like, hey, I have a level 1, 2. Like, by the way, if you guys are looking for a coach, and they actually were. They were looking
That's
for a
awesome.
morning coach because one of their coaches was pregnant at the time. So she had to go on some leave for a little bit. So I kind of was able to sneak in and get some coaching hours there. So that's kind of to Harbor Park. And then I coached there for about a year. And that was like lots and lots of mornings. I was 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 9 a.m. And then I would sometimes come back in the afternoon and coach some classes too, coach weekends. Just lots of coaching, lots of training, trying to be fit, trying to compete to the best, to the elite level of the CrossFit world. And so that was just kind of like that whole year at Harbor Park was very much just like focusing on my community there, and then getting better as an individual on a personal level, like fitness, mindset, all those things. And then it had come to the realization, I met Miranda, my fiance now at the time, or is my fiance now, just a friend at the time. We started hitting things off, connecting, vibing, and then we were kind of looking at like different avenues we can go. Like, do we want to stay at Harbor Park and coach forever? Do we want to start our own gym type thing, or do we want to move somewhere, travel a little bit? So there was a big shifting point at that gym when we had like decided to kind of start thinking about these things. And we decided it was best that we no longer be at that gym. And so we were looking, we basically, long story short, I got let go from Harbor Park because I was being very passive aggressive with a lot of stuff. I'll be completely honest here. I was being a little bit of an asshole with a lot of stuff because I just wasn't understanding the direction they were going. I wasn't respecting the leadership that was there. I didn't really agree with any of the decisions. And so I was kind of being a little immature, a little bit of a dick, pardon my French. But so then we decided like, hey, so do we want to find a gym around Wisconsin, or do we want to just like throw our resumes wherever and see what happens? And that's kind of the route we ended up going. We just threw our resumes all over the place and got some hits from like California, North Carolina, New York, Pennsylvania, Texas obviously hit us up back. And so Miranda actually got a salary offered position for coaching, which
That's
is
awesome.
like huge in the
Yeah.
CrossFit world, obviously, because that doesn't happen every day. So she went down, she visited, she kind of liked it. And then she was like, I don't know. She's like a pretty big planner. She wants to have like everything set in stone before she gets down there. And I'm like, let's just find somewhere to live. Let's go down there, try this out for a year. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And so we kind of like talked ourselves into it to moving down there, just going on a whim and going cross country at that point.
That's awesome. And how long have you guys been down there now?
So we moved down here March 1st of last year is when we pulled up into Houston, Texas. Half the drive is in Texas, I feel like.
It is. My family used to live down in Austin, and we would drive from Wisconsin down to Austin. And once you get to Oklahoma and Texas, you're just like, we're not even halfway yet.
I think actually the halfway point was like Marion, Arkansas or something on the route we went, something like that.
Yeah. But now that you're down there, how has it been the last year? Is it a totally different vibe than fitness in Wisconsin and Minnesota, or is it kind of just the same? But
it honestly, it's very hot. It's similar, but on a weird level, it seems like a lot of the CrossFit gyms are a little behind compared to the Midwest, if that makes sense. So like the Midwest obviously is like a super big CrossFit hotspot, and like the southern region hasn't always done the best in regards to just like overall competition and stuff like that in the CrossFit world. But it seemed like they were like a little bit behind. Like the gym I used to work at like had just gotten assault bikes like that year, and like gyms up north obviously had assault bikes for 5, 6, 7 years, and like it's really kind of just been like a slow catch-up game. And like things that we've brought from ideas in Wisconsin were like, whoa, we've never thought of that down here. So it's just like it seems like there's a little bit behind by like 2 or 3 years. So when we got down here, it was more of like a lot of the coaches or coaching staff for the gym, like everybody was like part-time. There wasn't really a head coach. Like everyone had full-time jobs on top of their jobs at the gym. So it was kind of more of like that for like earlier CrossFit, say like 2011, 2012 type vibe when we first got here.
Okay. And now you guys have just like been able to shift gears down there with them and be like, all right, this is what we're doing up in the Midwest. Like, y'all need to do this instead, because like you guys are riding Schwinn Airdynes, and
we have some actually right here.
That's awesome.
But in a way, we have Tommy, one of the owners here. He's from California, and he's very much like we're trying to get away from that the part-time coach route doesn't really work anymore, right? Because you're paying the person, say, $15, $20 an hour for $15 to $20 an hour worth of coaching, right? They're not like investing their all into it. It's a hobby. They enjoy it. They are passionate about it, but like there's always that potential that they're just kind of doing it for a free membership. Because a lot of times, like you think back to 2013, like people would be like, oh, I'm trading my membership and I coach like a couple morning classes and that's just what I do. And it's not like they're not actually, I won't say this, but it's like when you invest in someone, say with like a salaried position or through education, and like put your all into them as a coach, you'll see better turnout for your clientele. Just like with anything, you get what you pay for, essentially. And that's kind of the route our owner, Tommy, is going now. We're trying to get away from the part-time coaching gigs. We're trying to get another person on staff at the moment. Actually, that's something new. We're trying to get a number 3 coach, because right now it's essentially just me, Miranda, Tommy, and Dustin, the 2 owners that are basically, and we have Rodney, third owner, basically just kind of running the gym as it is right now. But we're trying to find another person that we can bring on full-time, as opposed to just like this being someone's side gig, because we want to give people the best experience when they're here. We want you to walk in, feel welcome, feel like you learned something, and feel like you're taken care of while you're here.
That's awesome. Now, do you still do like online coaching as well, or are you mainly just brick and mortar at the gym?
Oh, we do remote stuff. We got to do the remote stuff. I got a couple clients that I've had consistently now. I think, let's see, I've had 4 people. I've kept my clientele pretty small. just because I want to make sure I'm giving them the best possible experience when it comes to remote coaching. So I've had the same 5 remote clients for one's almost coming up on a year now, but a couple of them at least all over like 6 months right now, 6 to 12 months, just kind of still working with me the past year. And they've trusted me with their life for the past year, basically, and training and everything like that, and the constant shifts and dodges they have to make in life. And we've been kind of able to adapt together on that. So for me, it's been more focused on brick and mortar right now. But now that we're kind of getting all this stuff set in stone and we're building the building blocks for what we want to have happen here, I think it's time now to start shifting towards more remote coaching. Because like you have stuff like this COVID that goes on and no one knows what to do. No one has that like online remote programming. So we've been lucky enough with like me, Tommy, Miranda, and Dustin that we've all been on the same page with how we want to spin everything to making it maybe like a bigger chunk remote clients to kind of like open up overhead space for clients and members that are in the gym actually, and making people like hybrids and stuff. So like that talk's been kind of going on a little bit, but I think it's been starting to grow the remote stuff now a little bit more.
That's awesome. Now, speaking of remote clients, how'd you get hooked up with Mike Vespa over at Ruthless in Pursuit?
Michael Vespa, that girl.
Because he's came up in almost every single podcast so far.
Does he really? That's awesome. Yeah. I'll say I'm going to take credit for that because I feel like I got a lot of people on the Ruthless in Pursuit train. And don't at me, Michael, because you know it's right. Like, I'll make the joke because I know you interviewed Blair, but like I talked Blair into doing Ruthless stuff. And then obviously Rachel does Ruthless stuff now. Like, I'll take credit for all of that.
There you go.
But
back in the big Rob, like curly hair days, right?
Oh, dude, I was just like 230, like, I don't know, 18% body fat, powered by Subway. Like it was a great time. But how I got hooked up with Michael. So my ex from Fort Atkinson had a friend, Ellen was her friend. They went to school together. And so Ellen obviously knew Michael because she was shifting to go up to Ariel Bridgeville way back when, like 5 years ago now. I don't even know. It's been way too long. And Ryan King and who was the other person? I'm blanking on his name. He was a chiropractor up there at the time, but they were looking for a third person for their Granite Games team.
Okay.
And so Michael asked Ellen, she's like, do you know any good guys? And I had only been doing CrossFit for like 5 or 6 months, but I was strong. So I was like, I can move a barbell. I can do the RX weights for just about everything. I can basically do every movement to some degree. So I was good enough to be on like a team of 3. And back then too, there wasn't like the individual workouts. It was typically all kind of team stuff you had to do for the most part. They wouldn't like single you out like, okay, you're doing Fran, you're doing a 2K row, and you're doing like a 5-mile run. Like it was easier to hide weaknesses at that time. But so basically through that, I ended up going to Granite Games because I just got voted onto the team. Ryan decided to have me on the team, which was awesome. First big competition experience, so that was cool. And then I met Michael there. And he like at that time I think he started like he like asked me what I was doing for training, and like my aerobic capacity was trash. I wasn't doing anything. I was just strong, and I was able to like grunt and power through everything. Like technique was okay. I would power snatch more than I squat snatched. I would power clean more than I squatted cleaned at the time, and it was just a whole ordeal. And he had been trying to like get in to work with me for like 2 years after like that point, and eventually I just gave in and let him start programming for me. Let him. We talked about it. We became actually really good friends, really close friends. Still like one of my best friends to this day. And he helped me. He helped me learn a lot. Helped me learn about how actually to build aerobic capacity and to build skills and techniques like through the OPEX way, and to not just be an idiot and come in and do 18 Metcons a day, because that's what I used to do. I would just come in, Metcon. And oh, yeah, I'm getting better. Like times are getting faster. I'm looking good, like all the things. But he was actually able to kind of like pull me back into like under his wing and be like, okay, so you don't hammer your face into the wall every day to get better at CrossFit. This is how you do it. And we do like intervals and all this sorts of stuff. And so working with him for a while helped me to become a better athlete and learn a lot about myself at the same time.
That's awesome.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Michael's pretty dope. Michael's dope.
Yeah. Yeah. He definitely is. Like he's, I've been officially with him for almost 2 years now.
Heck yeah.
And like, I lost all my equipment when the gym shut down. So like we had a phone call on Friday and he's like, what do you have? And I was like, 2 bands and an ab mat. And he's like,
That's all you need.
he's like,
That's all
I
you
got
need.
you. So like
Heck yeah.
yesterday I was like, I got my program. I was like, it's going to be really hard. And it's just body weight, everything.
Hypertrophy to
Yeah.
death.
And then like a little bit of running. And I was like, I haven't ran in like a year and a half. All right, here we go.
Here we go. And we're running.
And we're running. Ow. All right.
Heck
I
yeah.
was like, I just put in the comments, I was like, my feet got tired. I was like,
Everything hurts.
Everything.
Everything hurts.
I was like, I woke up this morning to take the dog out and my feet were like, maybe.
Maybe today. Maybe go sit back down.
Maybe we'll do this. But now that we've covered all your coaching and stuff, how's the athletic side of everything going? What are like some goals and aspirations that you have for this next year, seeing as nobody that qualified besides the Open is going now to the games? What's your plan of attack?
It's a little kind of like it makes you step back and see like the bigger picture of everything, right? Like you're not just an athlete when it comes to a lot of stuff. And so like having this big shift and like the big shift when like regionals got taken away and everybody kind of like lost their mind about it, I've kind of been pretty relaxed, pretty chill about it because we've just been grinding away, getting better day by day, 1%, whatever, working on strengths, working on weaknesses, and kind of just where I want to like smash a bunch of qualifiers because I actually haven't done qualifiers since, I don't know. I've just been staying away from them for a while. So just to kind of fix some nagging injuries a little bit that I've had, work on some things that I need to get better at, which I feel like I've honed it in pretty well here. Even during quarantine, some outside fitness has helped. But yeah, I think the plan of attack right now is just kind of see like what happens with some of the qualifiers coming up. Because I think the original plan, I was going to do Granite Games in April. Like I was going to do that qualifier. That was going to be my first test in like a year and a half, just to kind of see where I'm at. And it wasn't like, all right, I need to qualify for this or whatever. It's just like, let's just see where we rank amidst like everyone. And then obviously that got taken away. So I was like, okay, so what do we do? Back to the drawing board. And I think for me, it's just coming down to realizing that things are going to constantly be changing and things are going to be shifting and you can only control what you can. So no qualifier. Okay. We're just going to keep training hard. We're going to keep getting better. We're going to keep getting stronger. We're going to keep getting more fit, and we're going to keep taking care of the people that are around me right now on my team and in my community. And that's all we can focus on right
now. That's awesome. I like that mindset of thinking about it. Like, especially since sanctionals are like postponed for further notice, basically.
For like ever.
Like, yeah. Like, Dubai just got canceled, and that's normally not till December. Like that's
huge.
6 months away, 7 months away, right? So like the next sanctional probably won't be till January. It's like, and if you're not focused on just training for the Open, which honestly, if CrossFit just did the Open and took the qualifiers out of that, that'd be awesome because like, I mean, it's kind of how it used to happen anyways, right?
Yeah. Go back to old school CrossFit.
Yeah, why not? They're trying to like lessen the whole like sport side of it anyways. Might as well do the Open to the games or like Open for sanctionals games, right?
Yeah.
But like if you qualify through the Open, which would be awesome, that'd be dope. But if not, like you have till at least January to train for a sanctional, which means, well, so does everyone else. But that just means like if you're still trying to figure things out, right, you could just use the Open as a test and not actually train for it. You could just continue training right now until like the sanctionals open back up, right?
It's a lot of time. Time under the belt.
So much time to get better, right?
Yeah.
What would be your sanctional that you would like love to qualify for next year?
I think just because I've done it so many times, like as like a team, I would love to do it individually. Would be Granite Games. I think just because like I've hit those qualifiers before, I kind of know what to expect, and I feel like that'd be my best shot going into everything. Because I've done the Granite Games qualifier probably every year I've done CrossFit. I've probably done it the same amount I've done the open, honestly.
Okay.
So I feel like I got a good feel of like what they're going to test or how they're going to go about it with their qualifier. So I think Granite Games would be my best bet for sure.
Awesome. Plus, it's the
Yeah.
it's one of the last ones on the list, anyways. So most people have
Mhm.
already qualified for the games. So then you're just like, all right, smaller field,
Podium.
let's go.
Podium. Yeah, smaller field, exactly.
And if you get
Yeah.
10th, you might make it.
You never know, dude. Because yeah, they're just there to get all the money.
Yeah, like last year, Nick Bach or Nicholas Block made it, right?
Yeah, Nick Block.
Nick
Yeah.
Block made it. And I was like, oh, like Ben Smith was here. Brent Fikowski was here, but like they're already going. So
Yeah. There goes Nick.
might as well. Nick's in the games.
Yeah.
So
Heck yeah.
who inspired you growing up to become the person you are now, and who inspires you now?
I think this question's a tough one. So for me, it was
Besides Miranda and Michael.
Okay, besides Miranda and Michael. Okay, that helps.
Okay.
So for me, who inspired me growing up for sure would definitely have been my mom. Single mom, crushing it, killing it, taking care of a shitty little kid that had way too much energy. So for sure, her just watching her like grind to make ends meet and to get us everything we needed to make sure I wasn't like suffering too bad. Like childhood was okay, but like she worked her butt off to get me to have like the best opportunity I could to make the best of everything I've had so far. So growing up for sure would be my mom. Right now, who inspires me? I think it's tough because like when I've met people and kind of encountered with them, I take a little piece of them with me kind of everywhere I go, if that makes sense. So like for me, a lot of times like I'll be in like a grueling workout and it's funny because like I don't even know if they're gonna hear this podcast, but it'll be funny. So like I have obviously like Jeb and Trent and like a lot of the North Fit guys, we would always like work out together and throw down together. So I'll just be like doing rowing intervals or something, like either with Miranda or by myself, and I kind of like envision them like next to me. Or I'll be working out and being like, oh well, Trent would be picking up the bar right now, or Jeb will be picking up the bar right now, or Devin would be picking up the bar right now because Devin does my nutrition and stuff like that, and he's been a pretty big mentor as well, on top of like Michael and stuff like that, kind of leading me through all this nonsense I've had going on. But I think just a little bit of like all the people I've kind of worked with. So like right now it's Tommy, one of the head coaches, in Dustin, or one of the owners, and Dustin, one of the owners, Devin for sure, Jeb, Trent from North Fit, and definitely, and when I like, and my people side is definitely Meg from North Fit as well, Jeb's wife. She one of the big things she always says is lead with love. So a lot of times when I'm having moments of like, oh, why the hell do they do that? Or like, oh, this person should be like beat up, or like not seriously that, but like just someone like frustrating me. It's like, what does Meg always say? She kind of was a really big mother figure to me. And she'd be like, all right, just lead with love, like, just understand where they're coming from and just listen to them, see what they got. And so I think it's a accumulation of a lot of different people, to be completely honest. So that answers your question.
That definitely answers my question.
Show.
Yeah. Now you brought them up a little bit.
Yeah.
How has your nutrition like gone from being fueled by Subway back in the day to now working with Devin to like be shredded as all get out and still super strong? Like, what does that look like these days? Obviously you have to be super persistent with it to make sure you're doing it correctly, right? So how has that transformed like your fitness level? Robbie, are you there? You froze.
Yeah, I literally was powered by Subway. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can
right
hear
here.
you now.
Hello?
And
I'm here.
your video is still frozen.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Well, you can hear me, so that's cool. I'll try to move around and unfreeze the camera.
All right.
So Devin question. So basically nutrition for me was kind of like eat 8 pieces of bacon, eat 6 eggs in the morning, eat some wheat toast, and then I would like train a million times a day, and I would get like Jimmy John's or Subway and just get like double chocolate chip cookies and all the things and just eat whatever, didn't care. Chipotle, brownies. I would eat Halo Top every night because I thought it was healthy. So it was only 600 calories a pint. Not bad at all.
Not bad.
But yeah, like I kind of was starting to figure out nutrition a little bit with like macros, and like I didn't really think about macros till about like 4 years ago, when I was like towards the end of being at Northfield, like the last summer of being at CrossFit Fort Atkinson. I was kind of dialing in nutrition a little bit, and that was like the first time I ever really tracked or weighed anything.
Okay.
I was kind of getting it, and I was eating a little bit healthier, some more ground turkey, chicken, stuff like that, but nothing compared to what I've done with Devin. And so that transition with Devin was basically, okay, we're going to reset you. So we're going to go to your, we're going to reset your metabolism and everything like that. And just get you eating these certain foods. So I would eat like Ezekiel muffin and butter, like healthier whole foods, and actually hit my calories and make sure I'm eating the same thing and eating consistently throughout the day and fueling myself for my workouts and not being a complete idiot and just like downing 19 donuts because I did a 10-minute workout. Just eating enough to make sure that I was fueled for that so I could keep muscle mass, gain muscle mass, and lose fat mass at the same time. And so I went from basically sort of tracking to literally, I still to this day, 2.5 years later now, weigh everything I eat. I weigh out all my stuff. I eat the same thing every day, besides the rest days, because we do a thing called carb cycling. If you want to know, look it up. Yep. basically it just lowers my calories for the day by basically taking out all of my carbs. So basically I turn into like a kind of a keto state on my rest days essentially.
Okay.
But with my calories being that low on rest days, I'm obviously not burning as much energy. So there's less potential for me to gain fat mass as if I were to eat my normal calorie amount on that rest day. Super simple, super straightforward. So I've been doing that essentially for like 2 years now. And we've gone from, he said I was like about 15% body fat just from pictures when we first started. So still fairly lean, not like anything too crazy, like average Joe, 15%. And now I'm down to 8% body fat consistently, like 8.1, 8 to 8.2 any given day. And I just kind of sit here right now, and we're basically just maintaining this weight. I fluctuate around 206 to 208 at the moment. And we're just trying to get as strong as I can pound for pound body weight right now without having to pack on any extra muscle. So I'm just basically recompositioning my body to be as strong as possible at this weight, which is basically as heavy as I want to be for CrossFit. Like I don't want to get over 210 or 215. Like I want to stay right here.
Yeah, no, getting too heavy would not be fun.
This is not ideal.
No, like not to knock on Michael at all, but when we were at athlete camp, those ring muscle ups looked a little iffy last year. What?
Suck it, Michael.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't done a ring muscle up in 2 years probably, but like that's not important to like what I'm going for. Like,
yeah,
I have the upper body, like I could figure it out again. And like, if you gave me a month, but like, we're literally just focusing on getting my legs to like work like normal people.
And you've been crushing it, dude. You guys have been getting leaps and bounds with that stuff. Let's see.
Yep, I hear you perfectly, but seeing you
I'm
is
back
not
where I was before. So hopefully it doesn't, because it wasn't glitching before, but okay, cool. Okay, because I guess where I was sitting wasn't working very well, but I'm back.
All right, you're back. You should definitely look at the photo I just sent you because you look high as all get out, and it's hilarious.
Let's see. Okay, I'll go find that right now. Let's see. That's funny. What was I saying? Where are we at?
I said my legs don't work like normal people, so that's what we're working on. And you said we've been crushing it. So thank you.
Of course.
Yeah. So
hopefully I don't cut out anymore now.
No, that's fine. I have just been pausing the recording anytime you start glitching out.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It works perfectly. Technology is awesome.
Good old Zoom.
Good old Zoom. Did you buy stock in Zoom?
No, I did not.
Dude, it goes sky high some days, and like 2 days later, it'll be like back at what I bought it at. And I'm just like, what in the world?
Should have sold it.
I should have sold it. Come on, guys. But anyways, back to you and your story. Who I'm guessing myself and the rest of the listeners after this will be able to answer this question, but who helped you find your work ethic?
Who helped me find my work ethic? I think for sure it would have to be my mom. Because she like led by example with a lot of stuff, and she would never complain, never moan or groan, never be upset that she had to take overtime. She would just do it. She would just lead by example with everything, and I've kind of taken that for myself, especially. Like, I'm not very much of a vocal leader. I've never considered myself that. I've never considered myself like someone who would give pep talks and get everybody high-fiving and going all sorts of nuts. I do it. I just execute, and I just show up and do the work, and then I go home. Like, that's basically how I've been doing life for the most part. You just sometimes you got to do stuff you don't want to do, and that's just it. And there's no point in complaining.
Yeah, I like it. That point got brought up last week during a podcast I did, that complaining gets you nowhere, right?
Absolutely nowhere.
You show up, do the work. If you don't like it, well, that sucks because you're going to do it anyways.
Exactly. It's like you
Right?
can complain the whole time, take twice as long, and it's still going to suck, or you can just get it done with and do it and just suck it up.
Yeah. And like if you follow CrossFit.com like workouts, right? The most programmed workout is a 5K run. Like
it's gross.
It's the worst, most awful workout you could ever do. But like if you complain about it, it's going to take you a lot longer and you're probably going to stop.
Exactly. You're just going to give up and quit. Can't have that.
Yeah. So, and then I talked to Michael about this on the podcast we did, and that was like over 2 months ago now, but like California Strength posted an Instagram picture once and it just said work works, like just 2 words. And
I like it.
It's the most simple thing ever, right? Because if you don't show up to work, nothing's going to get done. And if you have to pay bills, you got to go to work. And if you don't, nothing's going to happen, right?
Your lights get shut off.
Yeah. And then you can't do anything. Or like you can't go to the store and buy toilet paper because apparently that's what you need when the world shuts down.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't understand why people got the toilet paper. I don't get that.
The best part is like my family still lives in small town Wisconsin, and like there was no toilet paper shortage.
Really?
Yeah. So like I picked up my brother, like my parents met my wife and I in like a town in between the cities we live in, just because my brother got out of high school early because of this. So we had him at our apartment for a week, and they're like, all right, here's his rent. Here's 24 rolls of toilet paper. And we're like, that's awesome because we can't find anywhere near us.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
So good old small town Wisconsin.
Coming in clutch with the TP.
I know. Like our shelves are stocked and it's fantastic.
Heck yeah. We actually just had to go get some toilet paper. I was a little scared. Like there's still like limits on what you can grab here, but not as bad. There still is stuff to grab now.
Yeah, it's back in stock in Targets around here now, but for like a month we couldn't find any.
It's crazy.
Like got to sneeze into something and apparently Kleenex isn't good enough.
It's not enough.
Got to use some Charmin to sneeze into. My nose is getting dry.
Charmin clean.
Yeah.
Heine's clean.
For real. So what's next for you, Robbie? You and Miranda are getting married at some point, whenever. Like
It's still a go. We called the resort. She did.
Perfect.
I didn't. I won't take credit. She called the resort last week. They're still on. Everything's okay. Mexico is opening back up on June 1st too. Okay. And then everything's good. Everything's good. So we're still going. We're still getting married, hitched and all.
That's awesome, man. Congrats.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. What about after that? I know we discussed like coaching and training plans after that, but any other future plans that you have going on right now?
I think right now is just going to be trying to get this gym to where Dustin, Tommy, and I and Miranda see it in like our vision. We want this to be like not just the normal CrossFit, like, all right, guys, come on in, 3, 2, 1, go. Like, we want to make this almost like a strength and conditioning center and
Okay.
like just help people improve their lives day in and day out and actually get rid of the old stigma of like the CrossFit coach that would just come in or be sweaty after working out and just start the clock and open the doors and everything. Like it's such a just like a commodity. Like, oh yeah, it's just like you think CrossFit. It's like, oh, gym access, right? It's like we
Yep.
want to get rid of that. We want to make you guys come here, learn something, and get better on it. So that's what we're kind of like shifting towards. And for me, obviously, future plan would be eventually, we're still at least right now for this new place for a year, find a house that me and Miranda would want to move into.
Awesome. And
Like, yeah.
last question, what books would you
Yes.
recommend for the listeners to read or listen to? Because apparently Audible is very popular with
People love
most coaches.
Audible. Yeah, people love Audible. Well, it's just so easy because, as you know, being so busy, being a coach and everything, you got like 6, 7 classes a day. You don't have time to really sit down
Yeah.
and read. One of my go-to books like would probably have to be The Way of the Peaceful Warrior by Dan Millman. When I was
Okay.
reading it, it just like that book holds, it just like spoke to me in a really deep way. So definitely that. And someone you guys might not be familiar with, John Kim, the angry therapist. I share his stuff on Instagram all the time. I used to be a miserable fuck, pardon my
Okay.
language, but it's a really good book on just basically like a lot of do's and don'ts to make your life a lot better. It's kind of self-helpy, but at the same time, it's very much like just focus on shifting towards these better habits, essentially, and you'll overall be more happier and you won't be miserable with life.
Awesome.
Those would be my 2 go-to for sure.
Awesome. And where can people find you?
I think for most of my social media, it's just Robert21 Johnson. But yeah, that'd be it. Or you can find me at District H Strength and Fitness in Houston, Texas. We are on 1044 Studewood in Houston Heights.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Robbie.
Thanks, Dano. Glad
Yeah.
I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this podcast. It was fun.
Yeah, man. It was fun to have you on.